Congratulations on selecting eMAM Cloud as your digital asset management system. eMAM Cloud is a new and easy way to manage your media from a central location using the AWS platform. Upload your media, organize it for easy search and retrieval, share your media via branded email message, or archive media in a safe, secure, and affordable storage platform. In this three-part series, you will learn how to set up and configure your eMAM Cloud system so you can upload, organize, search, and collaborate with your media in a secure and easy-to-use cloud-based platform. Let's start with the Director interface. You should now see the eMAM Cloud Director default workspace. This workspace is based on the HTML5 platform with video preview in an H.264 proxy format. eMAM Cloud also stores audio files, images, PDFs, Word docs, Excel spreadsheets, and more. eMAM Cloud can provide a preview for each type of asset if available. In the Director interface, you will have 5 areas to place widgets. A widget is an action tool to perform a specific function in the eMAM Cloud system, like search, review, and share media. In the default workspace, we will only see 3 available panel areas where Preview, Browse, Metadata, and Search widgets are viewable. This is a basic view and used for most simple search and preview functions. We can expand the workspace to open up 2 additional panel areas. Click and drag any of the workspace handles to expand the panel area. Now let's open the widget drawer in the upper left of the Director interface to place a widget onto the workspace. Click the greater than symbol to open the drawer. You can place a widget in an area or add it to a space where other widgets are. Let's add the Category widget to an open space on the left and the Admin Tool widget next to the Search widget. Click and drag the Category widget to an open space on the left. Once you release the mouse button, you should see the Category widget on the workspace. Now do the same for the Admin tool. This time, drag it next to the Search widget tab and release the mouse button. To close the widget drawer, click on the less than symbol. Your workspace should now show 4 panel areas with Category on the left side and the Admin tool in the upper right. Let's save this workspace layout. Click on the green button in the upper right-hand corner. Under Workspace Settings, select the down arrow and click on Add New Workspace. Now add a name. Let's call it Admin Configuration. Click the Private Radio button. This will keep our workspace private from other users. Next, click Save, and we now have saved our workspace layout. We will learn more about the Director interface in other training videos. Now let's learn how to use the admin tools to configure your user groups, users, metadata fields, and permission levels. With the Admin Tools widget viewable on your workspace, click on the Manage Users button. A new browser tab should now open listing on the left Manage Users, Manage User Groups, Manage Registration Form. We are going to click on the Manage User Groups first. By setting up the user group first, we can add permission levels to our users, limiting what they can see and what they can do in the eMAM Cloud system. On the far right panel, add a user group name. For this training, I will add eMAM Cloud Users. You can always change this later. Add a description if you like. Under Description, you will see 5 tabs: Permissions, Category, Asset Types, Users, Metadata. Let's start with permissions. You can specify what permissions you would like for this group of users to have when they log into the eMAM Cloud system. By deselecting a permission, The user in this user group will no longer have that option in the director interface. We are going to leave all options open for now. Next, click on the Category tab. This will allow you to set the categories this user group can see when they log into the eMAM cloud system. We do not have any categories set up as yet, so we will leave this blank for now. Next, click on the Asset Type tab. This allows you to specify which type or types of assets a user in this user group will see when they log into the eMAM cloud system. Let's leave all asset types available for now. Next, click on the User tab. This is where you will assign users to this user group. We have not added any users as yet, so leave this blank for now. And last, click on the Metadata Group tab. This is where you will assign the group of metadata fields for a user group to see when they log into the eMAM cloud system. Currently, we do not have any metadata fields or metadata groups set, so let's leave it blank for now. Now click on Create. If successful, click OK. The user group should now be listed in the middle panel. Now let's add a user. In the far left of the Admin Tools page, click on the Manage Users tab. The Create User panel should now appear on the right-hand side of the Admin Tools page. This is where you will add each user to the eMAM Cloud system. For convenience, eMAM Cloud supports Active Directory, which will add users automatically to their defined user groups. First, type in the email address for the user. The system will check if it is a valid email or a duplicate email. Now complete the form with all the required fields. Under Domain, add the user's email address. Next, select User under Role. As a user, we will be able to add them to the user group we created earlier. You can select the Auto-Generate Password option. The new users will receive the login information via email. They will be prompted to change the default password with their own personal one. The default account option will default to No, leaving you the option to disable this account at a later time. You can also set account expires date for temporary users. By selecting the eMAM Director and Client option, the user will receive an email with their login information and URL to use when opening up the eMAM Cloud system in their local browser. Additional options are prompt the user to change their password when they first log in, notify user of their new account information, and auto-generate user key for later custom workflow options. Before we add the user, we must provide them with access to an ingest profile and add them to the new user group we created earlier. Click on the Ingest Profiles tab. Select the Send to Archive and Send to S3 or any other predefined profile. These profiles will allow the user to ingest media into the eMAM Cloud system. Next, click on the Groups tab. Select the eMAM Cloud Users group we created earlier. Click Add, and on success, click OK. Next, we will add metadata fields, groups, and sets. Metadata can be added to assets, making them easier to find in the eMAM Cloud system. First, click on the Manage Metadata tab in the far left panel. The Admin tool will now list metadata fields, metadata groups, and metadata set. To add a metadata field, click on the Metadata Fields tab. The Add Metadata Field panel will appear on the far right. Next, add the metadata field name. We will enter account name as the first field name. The field name will appear in the metadata widget in the director interface. This metadata field can be one of 9 field types: simple text, predefined list, integer, floating point, date and time, timecode, multi-select list, button, and schedule. Please review the eMAM Cloud Director Manual for metadata field type details. In this training, we will create 5 fields. Click the Text Radio button. In the text field, we can set a maximum field level. Setting it to max does not limit the amount of characters that can be entered into this metadata field. Next, we can select the default value. We will add inner text as a default. We can set up this field as required and viewable. Required means that a user must add a value before they can add or update metadata for an asset. Now select which asset types are to use this metadata field. Add a description to describe this metadata field and click Add. You now have your first metadata field. We will now add 4 other fields: a list field, date field, multi-select list field, and a schedule field. With the 5 metadata fields added, we can now create a metadata group. Metadata groups show up as tabs in the metadata widget in the director interface. These groups can then be assigned to a user group we created earlier. First, click on the Metadata Group tab on the far left. Add a metadata group name in the far right panel. We will name this group eMAM Cloud Group. Below the name, add a description for the group. You can add permissions for this group. View the metadata allows users to view the group if they have permissions set by the user group permission settings. Update metadata allows users to update metadata in this group. Now select the metadata fields in the order you would like for them to appear in the Metadata Widget Group tab. Click on the first metadata field on the right and click the left arrow to add it to the metadata group. Add the other metadata fields as you did the first. If needed, we can reorder the metadata fields by clicking the up or down arrow next to each field name. Next, click the Add button, and your group name is now made available and can be added to a set. Sets can be assigned to individual assets, categories, or projects. We will use this set for individual assets. First, click on the Metadata Set tab on the far left. On the far right panel, add a metadata set name. We will use the name eMAM Cloud Set and add a description. For set type, click the Asset Radio button. Next, click on the group name eMAM Cloud Group, and then the left arrow. The metadata group is now part of the eMAM Cloud Set. Click Add, and we now have a new metadata set to add to our assets. To review, we have created a user group called eMAM Cloud User Group. Let's add the eMAM Cloud metadata group to the new user group we created earlier. Click on the Manage Users tab on the far left. Click on Manage User Groups. In the middle panel, click on the Edit tool next to the user group name, eMAM Cloud User Group. In the far right panel, click on the Metadata Group tab. Select the eMAM Cloud metadata group and then click Update. Your metadata group is now assigned to the new user group. When users of that user group log in, they will see the eMAM Cloud Metadata Group tab in the Metadata widget. As you add more metadata groups, use this function to assign them to new and existing user groups. In Part 2, we will learn how to organize media by adding a category and in uploading and assigning media to the newly created category.